Welcome to the SmartKeys podcast.
Great to be here.
We are launching a really critical deep dive today. We're looking at some fascinating intelligence that maps out exactly where hiring signals are pointing in the world of distributed work. Our mission is pretty straightforward. We're distilling the strategic insights from this core piece of research, 5 emerging remote work roles in 2026 that shape the future.
And this isn't just, gazing into a crystal ball.
Right. We're giving you a clear snapshot of these high-value positions that are really defining that work from anywhere future. And it's all built on live hiring signals, not just hype.
I think what's truly transformative here is the evolution in the mindset of these organizations.
Yeah.
Companies they've definitively moved past that stopgap mindset of early remote work.
That emergency phase.
Exactly. And now they're investing heavily in long-term distributed hiring. This isn't just a buzzword. It's a proven strategic advantage. We see testimonials from firms like Tidepool and Very, and they're noting that they consistently attract higher caliber candidates.
And run smoother hiring cycles too, right?
Smoother, more efficient hiring cycles, all because they've fully embraced this remote infrastructure.
And for you, the listener, the professional benefits are just immense. I mean, this shift means fairer access to top-tier jobs no matter where you live.
And that potential for truly flexible time.
For sure, whether you're working across the country or, across the world.
And crucially, this whole analysis is grounded in real-world data. We're talking about signals pulled directly from active job postings.
On platforms like Nodesk?
On Nodesk,
Okay.
and tracking these established distributed firms like Discord, Stripe, Descript, 1Password, the list goes on.
8 Sleep, Skillshare.
All of them. So we know these roles are not theoretical because these companies are actively investing millions to fill them right now.
That's the key. This methodology gives us confidence that the roles we are about to discuss reflect, genuine, high-demand career durability.
It allows you to target opportunities that match your current skills with what successful organizations will need in the future.
And hopefully minimize the time you spend on applications that just lead nowhere.
That's the goal.
Okay, let's unpack this. Let's dive into the 5 specific high-signal roles. We'll start with the one that I think best captures the technological pace of 2026.
Yes.
The AI Prompt Operations Specialist. We've kind of tagged this one as the data quality enforcer.
And this role has become mission critical. I mean, nearly every company is integrating large language models, the LLMs, into their workflows.
Everywhere. Customer service, internal tooling.
You name it. And the specialists, they don't build the model. They sit right at that intersection of data quality and model behavior.
Their whole function is to scope and refine the prompts then, the instructions we give the AI.
Exactly. They set quality benchmarks, they analyze the outputs.
So it's not really about writing software, it's more about writing well and knowing how to debug data.
That's the core shift. Their main objective is to reduce hallucinations.
Those confident but completely wrong answers the AI sometimes spits out.
Right. And just generally improve relevance and consistency. Their skill set is analytic. You need a sharp, data-driven mindset, maybe some basic Python familiarity for scripting.
But above all, just rigorous quality control habits.
That's it.
So what does that look like day to day if they're doing this kind of lightweight analysis?
It means they are constantly auditing performance. They live in annotation interfaces and QA dashboards. They're creating this auditable chain from the input prompt all the way to the final model output.
Almost like running A/B tests on prompts. Does prompt A or prompt B give a better summary?
That's a perfect way to put it. And they're using precision and recall dashboards to actually quantify that impact. We're seeing companies like dataannotation.tech and Speechify Inc. really prioritizing these roles as they scale up.
That makes perfect sense. Okay, let's pivot to the operational side with a role that's all about retention and scalability. The Customer Success Operations Manager.
The system architect?
Yes, the system architect. And this role seems to be fundamentally changing how big SaaS companies think about customer health.
It absolutely does. This person brings discipline to lifecycle data. They are shifting the customer-facing teams away from that reactive world of, ticket triage.
Just reacting when a customer is angry.
Angry or stuck, yeah. And moving them to proactive lifecycle management. They are building the infrastructure that lets customer success teams scale good outcomes across thousands of accounts.
So they're centralizing the data signals to actually predict churn, not just react to it. It sounds almost like an air traffic controller for the entire customer journey.
That's a great analogy. They centralize playbooks in the CRM, They design formal success plans that align adoption, expansion, and retention.
And crucially, they're the ones tying product usage signals directly to renewal plans.
Exactly. If a customer hasn't used a key feature in 60 days, that's a risk flag that the operations manager built into the system. They build those dashboards that show account health, giving a single source of truth for sales, product, and success.
Which is why these high-growth SaaS firms like Wealthbox CRM and Proton.ai are seeking this expertise.
They can't rely on individual heroics anymore. They need reliable, data-driven systems.
Now, pivoting again to the purely technical side, let's talk about the developer advocate for SaaS platforms, the technical bridge. These roles aren't brand new, but the demand in distributed teams seems to be skyrocketing.
It is, because their performance is directly tied to platform adoption metrics. The developer advocate is the voice of the platform to the developers, to the builders who use it. Their core goal isn't selling licenses.
It's growing SDK usage.
Growing SDK usage and really reducing integration friction. They need a strong technical core fluency in APIs, SDKs, Python, JavaScript, so they can contribute usable code snippets.
So they're not just a technical writer or a salesperson, they're that vital link translating developer feedback back to engineering.
That's the key distinction, right? They're making sure the product gets built in a way that's actually easy to use. They produce highly practical media sample apps, live demos, clear documentation that help developers succeed quickly.
And their impact is measured by things like dot completion rates and successful integrations.
Demonstrating their value directly,
Right.
which is why platforms like Zencastr, Proton.ai, and TopTal see this role as a primary growth channel.
Okay, moving back to go-to-market, we hit the product-led growth marketer, or PLG marketer.
The activation driver.
The activation driver. This role is a hybrid, isn't it? Part marketing, part product manager.
It is, and it's a critical career path for remote professionals. The PLG marketer operates deep inside the product experience. This isn't your traditional brand advertising.
Right, this is not top of funnel.
No. They run experiments that directly change how users engage onboarding flows, pricing, packaging, all to convert curious signups into activated users.
So their focus is on shortening that critical time to value. That moment a new user gets the product.
Precisely. They do it by blending content, lifecycle emails, and these critical in-app nudges.
Right.
And they have to quantify everything using a framework called growth accounting.
Acquisition, activation, retention, and expansion.
All of it. If they roll out a new tutorial, they measure exactly how that impacts the activation rate. And they use that data to help prioritize what engineering should build next.
That need for data-driven async prioritization makes this role just perfect for the distributed teams.
Absolutely. Companies like Popotask.com and Sticker Mule, they treat usage data as their primary growth engine. The work is inherently measurable, so it doesn't require constant meetings.
All right, let's wrap up the core five with a role focused on defense. The Cloud Security Automation Engineer.
A codified protector.
Yes. With cloud infrastructure always shifting, security can't just be an afterthought.
No, it only scales when the checks are automated and embedded directly into the process. The core function here is to turn security policy into code.
Policy as code.
Policy as code. And they focus on automating preventive checks in the CI/CD pipeline.
Okay, let's just clarify for anyone who might not be an engineer, what's CI/CD?
Right. It stands for continuous integration and continuous delivery. It's the automated process that takes code from a developer's desktop and ships it into production.
And policy as code means you tune the rules, like no public S3 buckets, into automated software checks.
Yes, checks that run before the code ever hits production. This means risky configurations never even reach the live environment.
So they maintain these golden patterns so product teams can deploy safely without opening a security ticket every time.
It's safety by default. Their focus is on identity, securing the CI/CD pipeline, and making sure that policy as code is robust. Companies like TopTal and Proton.ai hire them because they blend deep security knowledge with automation skills.
So what does this whole spectrum of roles, from AI analysis to security coding, what does it all mean for you, the individual professional?
Well, the common thread here isn't just the job titles.
No, it's the skills that hiring managers are now prioritizing. It signals a huge shift in how we should approach our professional narrative.
That's the most critical takeaway. Hiring teams now overwhelmingly favor clear evidence of impact over just a broad job description.
So instead of saying, I manage the CRM, you need to show outcomes.
Exactly. You need a concise portfolio of outcomes. I built a dashboard that improved incident response by 20%, or I instrumented product signals that reduced annual churn by 3%.
We're moving from the resume being a list of responsibilities to a highlight reel of quantifiable results.
Absolutely. And that is especially true in the competitive U.S. market. You have to tailor your resume to highlight those measurable results and prove you have solid asynchronous collaboration habits.
And speaking of async collaboration, success in these roles is built on mastering small, dependable routines.
It's non-negotiable.
You have to communicate with these crisp updates, use tools like short loom videos, and maintain clear written logs so work can continue across time zones.
That mastery is key because distributed work relies on crystal clear handoffs. It means documenting decisions in shared artifacts, Notion pages, design files, so your colleagues can move forward immediately,
And adopting rituals like written stand-ups and weekly summaries.
all to ensure alignment without needing constant Zoom meetings.
This brings us to the required cross-functional skills for career durability in 2026. If you want to make sure your career is robust, 4 abilities really stand out.
First is management via playbooks. This means writing short, clear handoffs and checklists instead of just having more meetings. You're managing processes, not people in the traditional sense.
It's a shift from micromanagement to just clear, scalable process architecture. What's next?
Second is product intuition. The ability to propose fixes that balance user needs with business goals. It's about designing small, documented iterations that move the product forward.
And I'm guessing, given the roles we discussed, data literacy has to be on this list.
It is essential. And it's more than just reading a chart. It's picking the right metric that actually defines success and then telling a clear story about your outcomes.
Or finally, rounding out the set.
Security awareness. Even if you aren't an engineer, you need to understand how to design safety faults for identity, for access, for secrets. Security is everyone's job now.
Okay, let's talk about maximizing value. For professionals targeting these roles, we really need to shift focus beyond just the base salary.
For sure. Total compensation is what you keep, learn from, and use to live better.
So you have to weigh that long-term upside against the immediate perks.
Right. Long-term upside is your equity, profit sharing, a generous 401k match. Those are compounding assets.
But the immediate perks are often that non-taxable value that just improves your quality of life right now.
Exactly. You want to look for clarity on health and wellness budgets, hardware stipends, home office stipends, and those valuable time perks.
A 4-day work week, sabbaticals.
Time flexibility is the new 401k match. It's an asset you can use today.
But you also have to compare the promise of flexible hours with the actual coverage expectations. That's that strategic overlap challenge.
It's a crucial balancing act. You might be able to set your own schedule, but a manager might still require 1 or 2 overlap hours for core partners in other time zones.
So you need to balance that required synchronous time with your need for deep, focused work.
That's the game.
To truly future-proof your career, then, it seems the market is overwhelmingly rewarding those who can pair product instincts with measurable delivery.
It absolutely is. You should be planning your career around these compounding skills: product sense, systems thinking, data literacy, security awareness. The most durable path blends that hands-on craft with leadership moments.
Which lets you level up in scope and impact without sacrificing the flexibility that remote work provides.
And a final tip: if you're actively searching, look for companies that publish clear workflows and measurable outcomes. Companies like Discord or Stripe often do this in their company profiles.
Why does that transparency matter so much for a remote candidate?
Because clarity is the ultimate currency of successful distributed teams. If a company is predictable, it makes the interview and the day-to-day work so much easier. You know what's expected.
The clearest sign of a mature, remote-ready organization. And that brings us to the end of this deep dive. Thank you for joining us as we explored these 5 emerging remote roles of 2026. I think the key takeaway is simple. The future of work rewards clarity, measurable impact, and rigorous asynchronous habits.
We encourage you to subscribe for more strategic insights on future work and business efficiency right here on the podcast.
And if you want to drill down on the specific tooling, the skills checklists, and the data that drove this analysis, be sure to read the full article. The link can be found, as always, right there in the show notes. Thank you for tuning in to the SmartKeys podcast.